Now, Talk Real Estate, sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate Services.
Hi, I'm Sharon McNamara, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate. Let me share a little bit about my background before we get started. I am the broker-owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, located on the South Shore, and I have been working as a full-time realtor and sales and marketing consultant for home buyers and home sellers for the past 15 years. My unique approach to assisting my clients to the next chapter of their lives is driven by being a team player and by offering them continuous training, education, advising, and mentoring. Every week, I will be providing you with real estate topics ranging from home buyer and home seller advice, legal matters, insurance binders, flood insurance concerns, home inspection questions, environmental worries like radon, lead paint, and mold, mortgages and loan programs, staging tips and ideas, real estate contracts, market trends, home values, and more. It's a talk radio show, and you can follow along online. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We'd love to talk real estate. If you missed any of our shows, you can listen on my podcast at talkrealestateradio.com. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me regarding your home sale or your home purchase, you can connect with me anytime at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate.
Hello to all our South Shore neighbors. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable with Boston Connect Real Estate's broker team. My name is Melissa Wallace, and I am joined tonight with Mary Baker, my team member.
Hello.
Hello, and Sharon McNamara is here. I think she's just getting some water. So tonight, we might lose power. If we do, we have another show on standby.
In the wings.
Yeah, in the wings. So if we lose power, then that's that, because we're not at WATD. We're here in the heart of Pembroke. So hopefully we won't. So we can stick with our topic. But tonight,
like Sharon said, it looks like it's calmed down. The sun seems to be coming out a little bit.
Yeah, it's still windy out there though. So oh yeah, wicked windy over there. We might lose some plants out front.
R.I.P. Holly's tomato plants, because those I just got a nice picture. Those are down. Those are.
Not surprised. Pretty windy out there, but
Hi, friends.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Benjamin. Good. I'll tell you another. I'm going to text you something, okay? So, Mel, I'm going to let you tell everybody, or Mary, tell everybody what our thought is for our show tonight, and I'm going to text Ben something.
Okay. So we were thinking we were going to do, last weekend. Oh my gosh, the days are just like melding together at this point. I don't know what day it is anymore. Last week we talked about multiple offer situations and how hard it is to be a buyer in today's market, as well as, how great it is to be a seller, some of the nuances that are coming into play with this low inventory market that we're in currently. And one of those, which we touched upon briefly at the very, very end, was waiving home inspection, and home inspections in general. So we thought it would be interesting tonight to kind of go into like our roundtable discussion, talking about pros and cons, what we're seeing, what you should be looking out for in a home inspection. And hopefully a little bit later, we're going to have our very special guest, Mr. Steve Cook from Imperial Inspection Services, join us. He said he was going to try and Zoom in with us to see from a home inspector's perspective. Obviously, it's their job. They want to be doing inspections. They're never going to tell you not to have an inspection. But at the same time, what are they seeing out there in regard to all of these, especially in the city, all of these buyers that are waiving their inspections, and how it's affecting both the buyers and their market in general?
We're actually seeing it everywhere. I think we're seeing it, we're seeing it around here even more and more, but I think that
that's never down here.
Well, I think because we've been talking about this for a long time as well, is because of the low inventory and people not needing to work in the city anymore, and everybody's still working remotely. But I think that even when people are going back to work, they're going to be remote.
Oh, 100%.
And a lot of businesses giving that up, the brick and mortar, that people are coming further south. So the people with the mentality of, when I had to buy my condo in Boston, I
this is what
waived
I
my
did.
home inspection in order to get it.
Yeah.
It's very intriguing as a seller to get it. I would say that it puts you at the top of the list. Even if you have maintained your home perfectly for years and years, anything could come up. So I think it's good.
Yeah. And I think even when we're talking about anything could come up, right? That's kind of giving the indication that there is some problem with the house, right? And I'll just say this quickly before Lisa DeMilo comes on. It doesn't even necessarily have to be something wrong with the house. If that buyer goes through the home inspection and they just decide, hey, I saw something that I like better, they could then potentially use that home inspection to get out of it. So, I mean, there's a lot of different nuances with inspections and contingencies in general that we can chat about. But I'm sure it's 619.
It is, yeah. And you know what? I can't wait for the day that we figure this all out. I'm going to have Ben come back to the studio so I can listen to Miss Lisa DeMilo from the WATD Traffic Center. But I think that she is holding on for us. And Lisa, how's it looking out there with all this weather? I don't know how it is out there, but it was stormy in Pembroke.
It was for sure, Sharon. I hope you can hear me. Right now, though, I just looked at the radar, and it looks like everything is heading out over to the ocean. So it's clearing up. 95 south, though, you're still dealing with a rollover at Route 140. The expressway southbound is slow from Mass Ave to Columbia Road, then heavy passing a minor crash at Furnace Brook. Northbound's a 9-minute drive from Braintree to Boston. Route 3 south is in good shape down through the South Shore, and Route 24 south is a 16-minute ride from 93 to 495. This report is sponsored by Big Y Foods. Add sizzle to your grill with Big Y's USDA Prime Beef Choice Angus or all natural Angus beef. Premium steakhouse quality and flavor only at your neighborhood Big Y. Traffic on the 9s every morning. I'm Lisa DeMilo in the WATD Traffic Center.
We now return to Talk Real Estate, sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate Services on 95.9 WATD.
And we are back. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable with Boston Connect Real Estate's broker team. Again, my name is Melissa Wallace, and I'm here with the broker owner of our company, the one, the only, Sharon McNamara. She's squinting.
She's trying
to text something. And of course, we have Mary Baker here. Hello, hello.
I was going to say adios, but
okay. Well, goodbye. Good night. We don't even talk about our discussion, but we are missing Dustin tonight, but he's away.
Dustin is in the Outer Banks right now, and
he's not missing us.
He's safe and sound. But if any of his clients that are looking for apartments right now in the city, because he's been handling a lot of that, AT&T tower went down in the Outer Banks, so they don't have any service. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So I got a text message. So
I'm glad I don't have AT&T at the moment.
Yeah, I do. So anyways, go ahead. Keep on talking.
Well, Mary, this is like your topic, I feel like. Did you
I feel like
this topic?
I kind of did.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a pseudo home inspector, even though I'm not. I'm not licensed. I didn't do the qualifications. Steve calls me the chimney girl. But I just thought it would be interesting because I think there are a lot of different implications that can come from waiving your inspection, both on the seller side and on the buyer side. And it kind of has a trickle down effect. So it not only affects buyer and seller, but it does, when you're in the house after the fact. This is kind of a little snippet about what we're going to talk about later. If you are that buyer that decided to waive your home inspection, but still, like, what does that mean, right? So I think the misconception is out there that when you waive your home inspection, you still have an opportunity potentially to get back into the house, but not have an official inspection by a licensed home inspector, right? So you're like, my uncle is a general contractor and I'm going to bring him in before we sign purchase and sales agreement, just to give the house a once over. And I'm sure with the best of intentions, buyers think that this is, a family member kind of doing them a favor. But when you waive your home inspection, and this is just the most basic kind of overview of the inspection process and how a seller is interpreting the waiver of that, is you do not have the right at that point. If your offer is accepted with a waived home inspection, you do not have the right or the ability to get back into the house and or bring any type of contractor into the house prior to signing purchase and sales agreement. And even after signing purchase and sales agreement, you really don't have the right to inspect the property nor use any of your inspection findings as a way to withdraw from the contract. So that's probably like the most important.
Well, and that's if you drop your contingency completely.
Entirely,
right?
yes.
So we generally won't let people in before the purchase and sales agreement, because that's what they will do, is when we're the listing agent, because then they try to bring in somebody that is a home inspector, and they try to, have that inspection, before they have the purchase and sales agreement signed. But I'm wondering if there are ways for the attorneys to say, after purchase and sales agreement, seller has the has the right to have. You can write anything you want. After the purchase and sales, you have the right to have a home inspection, if the seller would agree to that. But I feel like it's too much of an out, and you wanted the in, and that's what got you in. So now we're not letting you out.
Yeah. So I mean, one of the articles that we printed, or that Melissa printed earlier.
Hey, I see that John Marchaletta is watching.
Hi,
John. We haven't seen you in a while.
Actually, I saw him the other day. I was driving down Taylor Street.
How's work going?
How's work? How's everything at JetBlue these days?
Now everybody knows where you work. But the article is, should you waive your home inspection? So, very clear cut. But at the very, very bottom, it says how to minimize your risk. And one of the key points it says, and I don't know if I entirely agree with this, waiving the inspection contingency doesn't prevent you from having a home inspection. It just means you won't be able to use the results from an inspection to negotiate remedies or price with the seller. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe in Massachusetts, or we might even take that one step further and say, if you're waiving it entirely, you don't have a right to inspect the property.
Exactly.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this is saying you can, because it says, make sure how to minimize your risk when you're waiving your inspection. Mm-hmm. Make sure you have a home inspection prior to purchase and sales agreement. Well, we're telling you, no, that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. If you waive it, you're going to sign the purchase and sales agreement before you're ever getting mm-hmm. back into that house. Yep. That doesn't mean that you can't have a home inspection later on after you've received your commitment letter, maybe, and mm-hmm. you're bound to the purchase of the property.
Have it afterwards.
Or, as one of our clients, actually, she, against our advice, and she mm-hmm. did sign a waiver because of this, opted to waive her home inspection based off of the information that we had at the time. Mm-hmm. We had the conversation with her that maybe, her being a first-time home buyer, you should just have a home inspection after the fact, mm-hmm. whether for informational purposes or just to know mm-hmm. What you could potentially be getting into.
And it's, we've said this over and over too, is the home inspection isn't